Welcome, everybody, to week one of the Classic Championship Series brought to you by Dread Zone Gaming here. We have DZG Olympus taking on Dorado Gaming. My name is Imphonic, and joining me tonight on the cast is none other than Magfries. Magfries, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. We are getting right into the draft, but I'm ready to see these two teams face off, trying to solidify themselves at the start of the split. And we're jumping right in. Gangplank and Camille taking off from the side of DZG, and Jin and Shyvana taking off. Definitely some more targeted bans with that Shyvana especially.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of top lane bans here by DZG as well, targeting here Hazam in the top lane for Dorado Gaming. The Camille, the GP taken away from him as well. The Graves actually a strong flex for both him and the jungler as well. So definitely some DZG not liking to deal with this Dorado Gaming top laner. Well, Dorado Gaming getting rid of Jin, getting rid of Seraphine, rightfully so. This champion is crazy right now. But DZG will start off the draft by locking in Tahm Kench, a fantastic flex pick between support and top.
Yes, Tahm Kench, definitely a really solid flex pick. And it also opens up because in the past, when we've seen Olympus play, they tend to be a lot more of a strong side top, weak side bot center team. And if they're going to aim for something like that, this split, Tahm Kench opens up a lot of weak side lanes that can later have potential. The primary ones being something like a Senna Tahm Kench, or even like a hyper carry like an Aphelios, if that is something on the table, which I haven't seen from Gin and Tonic, but we could always be surprised. We've been surprised before by some of these DCG teams.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and that's a very valid point. I mean, start of the season, we're still looking to see what each team can bring. DCG Olympus themselves are definitely, with this newer bot lane here joining Olympus is definitely gonna be a little different. But Dorado Gaming locking in Ezreal and Wukong. Ezreal not really showing too much here, as DCG is just gonna handshake this completely and take the Senna here, which is to be expected. I mean, Tahm Kench still a strong flex, but it is a solid pair in the bot lane. Wukong going to be taken here as well, like we said, from Dorado Gaming. Solid flex as well. Could be used top, could be used jungle. Jungle, definitely the bit of the place that we see it more often. But now we have to see what DZG wants. A lot of really good power picks still available. Things like the Corki are still available. Things like Talia are absolutely available, and that is a pickup right here by DZG.
Talia is definitely strong with the very recent patch that came in this yesterday, actually, came through, and now Talia is even more of a menace in the jungle than she was in the past. Is a soft counter to Wukong, I believe, if he is sent into the jungle. Her rocks on the ground, I forget what that ability is called, stopping the Wukong dash, and the Nautilus lock in
Interesting.
here. I am not a huge fan of it, primarily because of the interaction between him and Talia. But it can work out if played right. But this Nautilus is I'm gonna want to see this Nautilus out of lane a lot to kind of just leave this Ezreal be.
Yeah, Nautilus definitely an interesting choice here. Much like you said, I mean, a good roaming option as well. I mean, we got to see a little bit of that even today when I was watching a little bit of the Academy games. They played Ezreal Rakan. They left the Ezreal down there into a Senna Tahm Kench lane, which is funny enough. And the Nautilus is able, or the Rakan was able to do a lot. So we're hoping to see the same here from Dorado, as Nautilus can pair really well with a good roaming Wukong, a lot of dive potential with that ultimate, with that CC chain that Nautilus brings. But these bans are being targeted towards the respective solo lanes. Jax Gwen taken away by DZG against the top laner once again, and Dorado banning out Vladimir and Vigar away from Mobster Penguin here in the mid lane, and Victor will be taken away and picked up here as a really solid blind pick here and a really good scaling option for Dorado.
Really good blind pick. Takes another pick away from Mobster Penguin, and it makes sense why DZG is focusing Hazam, because he is, as we talked about before the stream, he is their D3 exception. And you're kind of expecting to see a lot out of him by putting such a high priority on him. So Ornn can be locked in. I'm a little curious because that means you have weak side lanes on top and bot and
Oh?
Sejuani. So that's gonna mean if that's locked in, is
Oh,
most likely gonna be Talia mid,
yeah.
with this being the jungle lock in.
Yeah, Talia mid, definitely an interesting pick. Not bad here if DZG wants to play around those side lanes or wants to be able to set things up with a bit of more roaming. But much like you said, and it is going to be the Trundle locked in, Talia did receive very jungle-specific buffs in this last patch that dropped yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see what Mobster Penguin here can do on this Talia mid into this Victor who outright outscales her. And Dorado hovering this Fiora as a last pick are really working on this strong disengage wave clear split push top. I mean, Fiora does fairly well into the Trundle matchup. Can definitely deal with a lot of Trundle split push ability, is a strong duelist into this Trundle, really relying on, kind of who blinks first, who chickens out first in regards to the subjugate and the grand challenge respectively. But Dorado definitely drafting towards this really strong scaling, strong disengage, and now strong split push comp, where DZG has a lot of scaling in their own right. I mean, Senna, Talia, and even the Ornn with the Ornn items, they have a very solid front line with a lot of engage and pick potential. So it's really, can DZG catch Dorado Gaming here, or will Dorado pretty much disengage fully, scale up, and allow this Fiora to be a menace in the side lane?
Yeah, and one thing that is I'm gonna be really curious about is the survivability of this Ornn in the top lane versus
That's right.
Fiora. A lot of percent health damage with Fiora's passive, and that's gonna make it really hard for this Ornn to sit and scale up. The other question I'm really having for DZG is, who do you really play for? You have Trundle, who typically isn't a standard farm until you hit 3 items and then you roll over the game. But other than Talia, and I'm not entirely sure how she wants to run the lane, I feel like she could go either kind of a stronger carry or a more supportive lane. You have a Senna Tomkinch, which you really just want to keep safe, and you have an Ornn who is really hard to gank. Yeah, you definitely can work to gank him, but you're not really wanting to funnel the gold into him.
Yeah, that's a really good point you brought up, specifically into this Ornn Fiora matchup, which I mistakenly thought was Trundle into Fiora. But yeah, Ornn not necessarily one of those champions that can answer Fiora later on into the game. Yes, things like Bramble and Ninja Tabby or Steel Plated Caps exist to mitigate some of that early damage, but eventually Fiora is going to be this unstoppable side split pusher who is going to require a lot more resources. And granted, you have those. Talia can really, travel the map or traverse the map pretty quickly with that Weaver's Wall. But it will definitely be interesting to see how DZG deals with that. If not, they're going to be forced into these 5v5 or 5v4 situations where DZG will be forced to pull the trigger very quickly to be able to get onto Dorado Gaming's remaining 4 members before the Fiora inevitably takes their base. Into this Talia, like you said, I mean, we'll see what kind of build. I mean, Leandries did get buffed, at least in the form of being able to stack, but Talia would really be the only one building Leandries in this game for the side of DZG. The Everfrost build's definitely still an option if more CC is what they're looking for in terms of a pick potential, or more just tankiness to be able to survive some of that burst that comes from Dorado Gaming's Victor and Wukong combination. It's definitely interesting. I think if I'm looking into this, I really want to see how this mid lane plays out. I think that is the, for lack of a better term, the deciding factor for both these teams. Top lane, kind of a wash. Like you said, ganking for an Ornn against a Fiora. Yes, they're set up, but I mean, Fiora can get away with that riposte. Bot lane, it's Senna, Tahm Kench, to Ezreal, Nautilus. I don't expect that to be a very eventful lane. I don't expect any of them to really die. Unless the Senna, Tahm Kench misplays, or if Ezreal Arcane ships forward really aggressively and needs a binding. So I really feel like it's on DZG and Dorado Gaming's mid-jungle combination here to really set the tempo and the pace for this game.
Yeah, and as we are winding down, people locking in their loadouts, and we will be going to a short spectator delay, unavoidable in the Riot client, unfortunately. Just gonna put some final thoughts on this game, and I want to see Ornn be able to survive this lane, because this is if this Fiora gets out of hand, I don't see a lot of answers on the side of DZG. And on the side of Dorado Gaming, they just kind of have to sit and make DZG make the early plays.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's the ball in the early game, or the early game is in DZG's court. I mean, it's really up to them to see what they can do early. And Dorado Gaming has a good skirmishing comp, but they do have that scaling threat available in the soul laners of the Victor, Fiora, and even the Ezreal. But with that being said, we will be taking a short break. And while we're on that short break, make sure you check out W.GG, as it is one of our primary sponsors here at DZG, and use our code DZGWIN to get 10% off of anything in their website, including that fabulous starter pack and shaker cup combination, which I myself have already got one. But make sure you use that code. And Max, I think we got one other sponsor too.
Yes, we also are just recently, as of yesterday, are officially sponsored by Metafy.gg, a League of Legends coaching service. all you have to do is use the link in our stream chat. Go in and you will be able to get $10 credit after your first booking. You can choose from a variety of coaches and book one-on-one sessions, both live and or VOD reviews. And each coach has their own price, and you can definitely find the coach that fits your preferences to reach that dream rank of yours.
Absolutely. So, we'll be taking a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 1 of DZG Olympus versus Dorado Gaming Gamma in week 1 of the Classic Championship Series.
to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. Wherever we go, we'll always know. From the highest mountain to the bottom of the ocean, yeah. Our song is running like a river. Let the current take us there. We've got the melody to set us free, singing destiny. We've got the melody to set us free, singing destiny. Our hearts are like stars, guiding us through the dark. We've got the melody to set us free, singing destiny. We've got the melody to set us free, singing destiny. Our hearts are like stars.
Welcome back, everybody, to today's game one of week one of Classic Championship Series featuring DZG Olympus versus Dorado Gaming Gamma. We appreciate all your guys' patience as we were in a bit of a lengthy pause as one of the supports on, I believe, Dorado Gaming ended up disconnecting. But we're here now, and we are already seeing some level 1 action here as Dorado Gaming is already looking to invade this top blue side of DZG.
Level 1 action, and interesting, the support on Dorado Gaming doesn't have an item besides
Oh,
Minion
boy.
DMAT. So let's
That
hope
comes
he
with the pause.
realizes it back.
Tofu.
Oh,
Not in line. I guess there was a bit of miscommunication here as SWF, no, Kibbles, was not in position to be able to come in with that hook. Oh, Tofu, what a nice guy stopping that with the pillar. Oh, okay. Well, if that's anything to show, maybe we don't see a lot of hooks here coming from Kibbles on the Nautilus. But no. I mean, it was a very great decision here by Dorado Gaming. They were able to get some vision on this blue side, but DZG was able to do the same as they were also able to get a ward now on Dorado's blue side. So the junglers will be spotted should they either one start blue, but it does look like DZG's opting to start on this bot side along with Dorado Gaming as well. So both junglers will be pathing towards this top side of the map.
so Kibbles did get items, luckily enough. And little skirmish mid, don't think much gonna happen. But DZG managed somehow to get wards on both of Dorado Gaming's buffs. After that failed invade from Dorado Gaming, and that just shows some of the, I guess, some of the awareness that they knew they could skirt around and get that ward onto the red buff.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, getting vision on both those buffs is definitely going to be vital for DCG to, tracking junglers. That's something you always want to promote on any team in any elo is, you want to be able to track the jungler as best as possible, gives you the most information, and actually, Power over Ethernet will get spotted on a ward here, as the ward was still going to be on his blue buff as he is working on that Grump. Pings never really came down, though, as I believe the ward was swept by Power over Ethernet, as I don't see it there any longer, but it should have still spotted him nonetheless. Meanwhile, we see bot lane dominance already going to the side of Dorado here, as it is going to be the farming Tahm Kench. The Ezreal does get a bit more of presence in this bot lane. It is kind of expected, as it is a ranged champion farming against a melee champion, but we are still seeing a bit of poke return here from the side of DZG, stacking up those souls. It's Jhin and Tonic. Oh, gang coming through. That is going to be the, I don't really know Tilly's abilities. Who am I kidding? That's going to be the stones laid down there to try to set it up with the pillar, as it actually would be a good combination. The pillar knockback would trigger those stones and would set up a stun, but OG Kush was able to walk away from that pretty safely and not even having to blow a summoner spell.
Yeah, and I was going to say, on the side of DZG, I think Power over Ethernet barely managed to avoid the ward because the sweeper is up the entire time. Hold on.
Yeah, that's going to be a knockup. Octofu trading pretty well here, but Hazem does have a pretty good trade here on the Fiora. Knockback should be coming back here from Octofu should he want to use it, but he won't. That is going to be the lunge coming forward. We'll get a bit more damage here, as Tofu is in a bit of a precarious situation here, as it is going to be a solid, not necessarily freeze, but a good keep of that wave by the Fiora here in the top lane to be able to zone Octofu and start kind of threatening an all-in potential, is Fiora can't really do that onto the Ornn at least until he builds that Bramble or at least the steel-plated caps.
Yeah, and while this is kind of a slower paced early game, Power Ethernet getting double scuttled feels unfortunate, but is able to clear back onto his bot side of his jungle. I do kind of want to reevaluate what we had talked about early in the draft, is how we favored Dorado Gaming's late game, but one thing that I failed to consider was just the power of the infinite scaling Senna, as well as the ornaments, and I think those two can really kind of even out this game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Tofu gonna get a really good trade-off here. The Riposte not available yet for Hazem, as it was used haphazardly, and that is going to be a solid trade here for Octofu, who's sitting on that cloth armor, and like you said, has access to those ornaments later on, will kind of make up for a bit of that scaling that is lacked from, the top and the mid lane with those ornaments there. And of course, you got Senna, who's infinitely scaling. Hazem going to use that lunge to get out of that pillar range. It is going to be put on a longer cooldown, as she is not able to hit a minion off of that. And Octofu able to finish up that Bramble Vest. Looking a little bit towards the bot lane as well, we're seeing a shift a bit, as we're seeing the bot lane of DZG actually being able to push up into Dorado Gaming side of the lane, crash the wave, get reset, and only be down 8 CS. Seismic Shove, gonna miss as well in this mid lane. A really good attempt here by Mobster Penguin. But overall, not a lot of crazy action, but the lanes are going, I think, a little bit more even than expected for the side of DZG.
Definitely going a bit more even, and the Tahm Kench is expected to kind of fall down in some CS. His job is not necessarily to stay even, it's just more make sure the gold doesn't entirely go to waste. Obviously, it does feel bad to be missing CS, but being down 10 CS while you're still full health is not necessarily the worst position for a TK to be in. And this top lane is going the exact opposite way I would have expected.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, as we see a Hook kind of go way wide here on Kibbles, and that's going to be potential re-engage here, but Hook not available. Kibbles, we're really just going to eat some free damage here. But yes, absolutely, the Ornn doing a lot better than we thought now, finishing up that Bramble like we said. The plated steel caps are sure to follow to be able to mitigate, and Fiora going to go for that late game scaling. Isn't really going to worry too much, picking up a tier, picking up the Cull as well, along with a longsword. So definitely not looking for these long trades, knowing that Ornn is going to be able to soak up a lot of that damage, and is just going to look to kind of extend that. Oh, Hook gonna land. Jhin and Tonic sitting not behind the minion wave. That's gonna be the flash coming through. Ignite gonna be dropped as well. First blood coming through for Kibbles on that Nautilus. Eclipse gonna get pulled back here. He's gonna be in a bit of a rough spot. Double kill sure to follow here. If not, it is gonna be one. It is gonna be a kill picked up in the mid lane though. That's gonna be the Call of the Forge God gonna be used as well. 3 mid here, not enough. Seismic Shove will land onto the Unraveled Earth, and that is gonna be a little bit more damage, but not enough follow up there, as it is gonna be a 2 for 0 on this bot lane. The bot lane of Dorado Gaming finding that advantage that they needed.
Yeah, Dorado Gaming finding the advantage that they needed, and for the first kill, Gin and Tonic just overstepped, and that was really good on Dorado Gaming for punishing. But I don't know if I can really give them credit for that second kill. That second kill is almost entirely Eclipse doing the one thing that when you coach me is like you always preach, just don't try to salvage plays. And Eclipse was trying to salvage that play and ended up giving over the secondary kill. So, and they went 3 summoners to 1, so they didn't even go even in the summoner trade. That just went entirely in the favor of Dorado Gaming.
Absolutely, and I mean that you hit the nail on the head there, Mags. And I mean it's definitely not about salvaging plays, right? The play goes wrong. Yes, you eat a hook, you overstep, your Senna's dead. No need to go back in. I mean, she flashes Ignite Drop. You know she's gonna end up dying, especially based on that damage that the Ezreal was able to output with that Essence Flux and the Mystic Shot landing completely. I mean it's a kill, so definitely don't do much more. But it is gonna put DZG on a bit of a precarious situation as the hook's gonna land again. Eclipse gonna eat a bit of damage, gonna be using that thick skin to soak up some of that damage. Power over Ethernet, hovering the side here. We'll pop that sweeper. Won't find anything. There's actually no vision here, so DZG could look for the re-engage here as they do have Talia walking down. We'll get spawned a ward. Top lane though, we see Octofu here trading pretty well into Harem here. That's going to be Trundle coming in. Weaver's Wall is available and could be used. That's going to be the Arcane Shift coming through. Knock-up Flash coming through as well. Weaver's Wall was not used. It's going to be a turnaround. Death Chart's going to land. Cyclone going to land a 4. The Unraveled Earth is going to be there, but Power Reaver Internet won't be long for this world. He is able to get away here. Both jungler and support going to be taking pretty low. Rogue heal going to come through. Hook going to land. That's going to be turret shots taken. That is Eclipse picking up a kill here in this bot lane 4v4. But here comes Ezreal and OG Kush very healthy here. Laser going to land. Monster Penguin forced to flash. Essence, or the Mystic Shot going to be eaten. The knock-up coming through. Eclipse looking for the re-engage here. OG Kush taking a lot of damage. SBWF looking to dodge. Essence Flux miss. That's going to be OG Kush going down. Gin and Tonic going away with that blackened miss. SBWF going to go down as well. 3 for 0 for the side of DZG, bringing it back even stronger after that 0-2 mishap.
Amazingly well played fight.
Oh,
and I don't think
Grand challenge coming through. Knock-up is enough. Octofu making it a 4 for 0 across the map.
That. Okay, so there's so much we need to break down there. The initial gank went well. You get the Ezreal flash, and then the gank should just be over at that point.
Yeah.
But Dorado Gaming just insisted that they pick the rest of the fight. I don't think they knew Talia was there, so they likely thought they had the advantage on hooking. Dorado Gaming isn't going to be able to pick up the dragon just off of resets. But the interaction between Talia and any of these dashes on the side of Dorado Gaming, both the Nautilus and the Wukong, I think saved Monster Penguin's life, stopping the second cast of the Wukong just long enough for him to escape. And they were able to just buy it just enough time to throw out abilities. Oh no.
Oh my god. Unravel Oath's gonna learn. That's also gonna be the seismic shove landing. OG Kush eating so much damage. That Hex Flash and the hook just barely missing. That would have been a really good pick as Monster Penguin didn't have Flash. But OG Kush gonna eat a lot of damage there. Trundle, Power over Ethernet, gonna be starting up this Herald. There won't really be a lot of pressure to be put there, but he's actually gonna stop and look for this top lane gank. Hassam, I believe, still has the riposte available. Trundle's going to be here. Call the Forge going to be here. That's going to be the pillar. Going to be blocked. Actually, riposte. No, there it is. There's the riposte. Really late on that. And that is going to be the flash over. Power Reavers in that might not be able to catch the Dawning Shadow. Going to land here. Gin and Tonic picking a cross-map kill right there.
Yeah, and I mean, really good flash on Hazem. It's just a really unfortunate. You did almost everything right. The riposte was a little late. Not blocking any kind of CC, just blocking the additional damage.
Ooh, hook gonna land here. Gin and Tonic gonna end up eating that True Shot Barrage here. Eclipse getting a lot of damage. Herald was dropping this top lane. That is gonna be first turret going over to the side of DZG Olympus here, as they are gonna be able to take this and likely force some rotations here. Victor getting some deep vision, as it's really all they're able to do in response. But a really good pickup here by DZG as they are able to extend that top lane. However, the one thing I will note, taking this top lane turret is not always a good thing, as Fiora could look to freeze this wave depending on how minions we see in this top lane. And she could force Octofu to play very far up, which never a good thing, right? I mean, yes, you get a lot of gold. Is this really where you want the gold on your Trundle and your Ornn? Not necessarily. And again, it could lead to a really not so great situation where the Fiora gets a free skill with this giant wave. But overall, a really solid play, and overall a good 2,000 gold lead by DZG.
Yeah, and I will say it looks like Hazim's not quite freezing that top wave. I could be wrong, but just basing that off of map movement. And the side of DZG, they're really showing their comfort on a lot of these champions. That when we were going to the draft, we were really post-draft, we were favoring the side of Dorado Gaming. Kibble's looking for a Hex Flash play. Isn't going to get much out of it, since he was doing it on a ward. But just the comfort, Mobster Penguin with Talia has looked really comfortable punishing this Victor. And stuff like Tofu, top lane, Ornn, he's been playing this really well when we didn't even think he had a chance to win this lane.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, DZG definitely showing why comfort may be a little bit better than, potentially, not necessarily a better draft, but a more responsive draft, as Dorado Gaming did have really good responses to a lot of these picks, but DZG just showing to be a potentially better team here. Riposte going to come through that. He's going to stun knock Tofu. He's going to allow 2 Vital Procs to be taken here by Hassam here. The pillar going to come through as well. Octofu looking to knock up. He's going to miss. Riposte still available, but Hassam eating a lot of damage here. Call of Forge God is available. There is no jungle presence, so this is just a straight-up duel here. Mobster Penguin going to miss that Unraveled Earth. Does have the pushback available. That is going to be another proc of the Brittle here, as Octofu is actually getting the better of these trades, as he does have a mythic item, the Bramble, and that percentage health damage from the Brittle procs. So this is going very well in Octofu's favor, even though the trades may be looking less than optimal in the early on of the game. We have Dragon coming up in a minute 15. Vision more along the side of Dorado Gaming. A couple of red wards here, setting up quite well for this potential rotation. We'll have to see how DZG responds, as they will likely be the second team on the Dragon Pit area, as we're seeing not necessarily late resets, but later than Dorado's resets.
Yeah, and that's going to mean also, okay, so we get interrupt onto Ethernet's back, making him not really have a chance to reset. And we have Ornn pathing down, and I believe Fiora's going to head back top. So for about 4 or 5 seconds, DZG's going to have the numbers advantage for this play.
Yeah, Everfrost's going to miss along with that Unraveled Earth. But yeah, I mean, Fiora is going to go to the top. I mean, Fiora not necessarily in the best spot to join a team fight, as she will likely be more of a liability. Will likely look to trade maybe this top lane turret. It is only second dragon. Granted, Earth Dragon or Mountain Dragon, definitely one of those singular dragons that definitely benefits as the game progresses, as it is a percentage amount of armor and magic resist gained throughout the game here. But this dragon still another 9 seconds, as Fiora is getting some alone time here at this top lane turret. We see Octofu pushing in the bot lane wave here, and it looks like Dorado Gaming is going to be content with giving this up, as they're opting to push both the top and the mid lane uncontested here. This dragon, though, will go down fairly quickly here, as it is DZG rotating towards his mid lane. Teleport coming into the top lane to stop this turret from being taken down. That is going to be the Weaver's Wall, going to be dropped as well. We'll bump into Eclipse. That is going to be Mobster Penguin getting the Unraveled Earth. Going to force the flash here out of OG Kush. If not, he would have eaten that seismic shove, and that is going to be a net positive trade for DZG, not losing a turret, not losing very many minions either, and will be able to pick up that dragon. Riposte coming through, riposting nothing actually, trying to riposte the Brittle proc there, but Octofu getting the better of that trade and able to use that teleport again to save that top lane turret.
We have seen this entire top lane fight being... Okay, we're going in deeper. I don't think we have much of a kill pressure onto this Ezreal, so that play's just going to kind of down. But as I was saying, for top lane, it's really just been, can Fiora predict who can predict who best? Because Fiora needs to kind of predict the Brittle proc, and Ornn has to predict the riposte predicting the Brittle proc. So it's really just going on top of each other, and I'm trying to think ahead of you, but you're thinking ahead of me. So it's just a huge mind game in the top lane right now, and right now Tofu's winning that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Tofu winning it, it is looking like Dorado Gaming is looking to put all their eggs in this top lane basket, looking to play for the second Herald, as they are positioning Kibbles up here along with the everybody except for Ezreal, really. They are going to be able to crash this wave. A dive will likely not happen, but it is going to be the second Herald going over to the side of Dorado Gaming, as DZG is really not in a way able to contest this Herald. Octofu will stop Hassam's back here just by being present. It is going to be a Hex Rift, so it does mean that we do have these Hex Gates available. However, will not allow DZG to get there in time, as they were hoping to make it to the Rift before Dorado did, but Dorado will get those resets off. We'll pick up the second Herald, and we'll have that available for the Dragon that's coming up in the next 2 minutes. Or, I'm not saying the next 3 minutes. taking a look at game state, or at least taking a look at items, we are seeing DZG already sitting at 3 of these mythic items, along with Dorado Gaming. Really, it's just the Fiora that is really missing this mythic item compared to the ADC or Gin and Tonic from DZG Olympus as it is. DZG Olympus finding a good... Ooh, that is going to be a really good use of the Hex Gate, though, as he will be able to get away. Monster Penguin will be forced to flash. Depth Charge and Knockup still available. That is going to be a lot of CC here. Monster Penguin looking to maybe use that Seismic Shove to push him back. Ezreal will get pushed back, and that will be the Ignite pickup. Dawning Shadow will come through. Ooh, that's a good shield. Shield going to go down, though. That is going to be the kill donated over to the side of SWBF on the Ezreal. Herald will be dropped as well. First turret of the game going over to the... first turret of the game for Dorado going down here with that Herald usage, and that is going to be a 1-for-0 in a solid trade to bring this gold lead back down to a 1.5 lead for DZG.
Yeah, that really solid play on the side of Dorado Gaming. They were able to capitalize onto that Herald, which second Herald is more often than not super valuable, but they're able to break up that mid tower, which if you're taking top outer versus mid outer opens up the map so much more for things like this, like a Wukong flank, Fiora to better, safer split push because you can have the mid pressure for longer. And we have a minute 35 until this next dragon. I'm curious how close the Senna is to the Kraken Slayer is most likely what this build's going to be. And we're not seeing a back yet from Gin and Tonic, so either we're waiting for just a little more gold or we don't quite have enough. And one thing I've been really adamant about is how important I think it is to go something like Kraken over Umbral Glaive, because how it really hinders your damage going that utility item comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, yes, the Eclipse is a really strong, for lack of a better term, supportive item. It's really the biggest benefit you get is being able to clear that vision. But in a game like this where DZG really lacks a lot of damage, really it's only coming from, percentage health damage from Ornn. You have the Trundle, who did go Divine Sender, who is going more of the offensive build, but your Talia is also going the Everfrost utility build. So the Kraken, much like you said, is picked up here by the side of Gin and Tonic, and that is going to pay dividends here as we get into these team fights where you're hitting things likely like the Nautilus, like the Wukong, who will likely be in your face, and that true damage is going to be really what you need, as Gin and Tonic will eat a Mystic Shot here. Dragon coming up in 25 seconds. DZG will be the first ones here, granted a bit late, but for the first ones here. Pillar will drop, SWF will be forced to Arcane Shift here. Hook going to go wide here by Kibbles as DZG is setting up this vision. Ooh, that red ward actually not spot the ward placed by Dorado Gaming in that pit. Plant going to be popped here. Wave presence in the mid lane is on the side of DZG. This dragon will spawn, and it looks like Dorado's going to give this up as Dorado's roaming towards this dragon and or top lane turret. 3 are sticking to the mid lane. Wukong warming up to this top lane turret. Ooh, True Shot Barrage. Not necessarily there, but an early smite could have led to disaster. But DZG will pick up the second dragon for themselves. This Hextech Dragon, Weaver Wall, going to come through. Gonna be a bit late here, but Monster Penguin will be able to rotate towards this top lane, so it may actually be beneficial here.
Yeah, could have gone top, just going to kind of go back towards mid. However, even it's kind of on your own, but you're not really under a whole lot of kill pressure with this Nautilus.
Oh, Tofu might be in a bad spot here, though. This turret's going to go down. Grand Challenge going to be issued here. Octofi will be forced to flash. Kibbles will be the first one to make it. DZ trying to get there. Hook will land. Riposte will pop out for no reason whatsoever, but that is going to be the Grand Challenge completed. That is going to be the Unraveled Earth. That is going to be the knockback, and that's going to be 1-for-1. Gin and Tonic, Trundle going to use a great pillar here. Rogue going to be forced to use that. Wait, the hook just went wide completely as Kibbles was trying to get out, and that is going to be Kibbles going down as well. 2-for-1, I'm sorry, for the side of DZG. Baron being pinged here. Tahm Kench is on the bot side of the map, farming it all up, but I do not believe DZG will be able to pick up this Baron in return. However, a solid pickup here. Octofu maybe going a little bit too deep, but DZG is able to kind of swing that back their way.
Yeah, a solid response. Interesting enough, Dorado Gaming is out a slight gold lead, about 300. Mostly due to farm, with a 50 CS lead on this Ezreal over the Tahm Kench, and pretty much every role except for the jungle having a CS lead. And yeah, as we're seeing here, almost all of that gold is really over the Fiora, with the kills actually being 2,000 gold, close to that lead over the Trundle, for the Trundle being over the Wukong.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting seeing how the numbers are kind of posted here. As you know, we are seeing a bit of obviously an 800 gold difference here for the Senna, who is, picking up some gold from those souls and also a bit of farm. But it's definitely not enough. I mean, it is going to be, like you said, a very slight lead, about 200 gold for the side of Dorado Gaming. Granted, I think you get to the point where Senna should be picking up more farm here. That is the biggest difference that we've seen from the resurgence of the Senna so far, is the difference between a farming Senna and a fasting Senna and a non-farming Senna. Where right now it looks like DZG is more opting for this non-farming. They're letting Tom Kench pick up all these resources, and they're not really fasting, because Senna would be picking up more of this farm now that she has, this first item, and Tom Kench is really not necessarily needing all this gold income, as he is just a tank. But we'll see how DZG looks to transition this, as, you really want to start getting more gold into this Senna so that she can go ahead and start getting to these items faster, as it looks like it will be the Rage Blade coming in next for the Senna. Titanic Hydra picked up fully here by Power over Ethernet on this Trundles. We're seeing second items coming through. Ezreal sitting on this fully stacked Manamune into the whatever the hell it's called afterwards. I don't remember what it's called anymore. Trinity Force along with that. But again, we're seeing those second items coming through. Ooh, we're seeing Octofu Grand Challenge not issued yet. That is going to be the knockup. Post not available here. That is going to be the Call to Forge God. Will actually miss. Grand Challenge will be dropped here. Octofu will be looking to disengage here, but that is going to be 2 ultimates wasted by both these top laners. But DZG is coming here quick. Teleport coming through. Knockup won't be available here, as there will be no way unless the middle Brock. That is going to be the Trundle Pillar. Going to be able to knock her up, and that is going to be a wasted teleport and a pickup of a kill here by DZG. However, that's going to be a quick turnaround here by Dorado Gaming, as they're going onto this purple worm here. Teleport coming through. Weaver's Wall as well. Octofu doesn't have ultimate yet. That is going to be a knockup. That is going to be the Unraveled Earth. Will a knockback land? 2 knockback. Dawning Shadow going to land as well. Cycle being used here. Rogue will likely go down here, as it is just Mobster Penguin bursting through this damage. OG Kush forced to flash here. Mobster Penguin needing a lot of damage. That's going to be the flash into Kibbles, getting self-stunned there on the Unraveled Earth. The Gravity Well will force the disengage here for the side of Dorado Gaming, but that is going to be a 2 for 0 for the side of DZG, and the Baron stopped. A good heads-up play by Dorado, but not enough. DZG able to stop that in its tracks.
I want to stop it in their tracks, and an amazing wall on the side of Mobster Penguin, zoning the entire team off except for the Ezreal, who Arcane shifted over. And one thing that's happened is Kibbles hasn't looked too comfortable onto this Nautilus. Missed quite a few hooks onto the walls. Has landed a few hooks that have pulled him over the Talia E, I think it's Unraveled Earth, and it's really kind of hindered his play. So I'm curious to see if they're going to go for that in game 2, but we will get to that when we get there. We have Dragging up in 12 seconds, and
yeah,
we have a Death Bush building.
Ooh, good good route there by Gin and Tonic. Hook will land. Power over Ethernet. We'll use that subjugate, seen a lot of that damage. Gin and Tonic will pick up the kill, and that's going to be the Grand Challenge issued. Hazam going to be able to use that riposte to disengage here. Octofu did use that Call to Forge God, was not able to actually follow that. That is going to be the knockback there, and that's going to be Gin and Tonic picking up, going unstoppably here. 5-1 and 5. Octofu going to be pushing them aside. Mobster Penguin will have those cooldowns back available. The knockback not going to land here, as the Seismic Shove will not cause a stun here. Arcane Barrage not available, so a steal attempt will likely not be there for the side of Dorado Gaming, and that's going to be another really big fight. A 2 for 1 for the side of DZG. Octofu eating a lot of damage here. Will eat the beam. Will eat SWF. Will use that Arcane Shift to get away from that Seismic Shove, and that will likely be the end of the play, as DZG looking to rotate down to this bot lane. The only tier 1 turret left in this game is this bot lane tier 1 turret for the side of Dorado, where Dorado will be forced to reset here, looking to lick their wounds, come back strong for likely the Baron play that should be coming next.
Yeah, and one thing we're seeing now, and I feel like this fight was a good representation, is Senna has gotten enough, and I'm wondering if we can get production, if we can get a soul check onto Senna. We haven't gotten that just yet. Ooh. 99 souls, gonna be at 100 after this camp, and this Senna is gonna be pumping out a lot of damage. Got the first ornament upgrade, and the other side is this is the second fight that's really shown to me Dorado Gaming looking a little disjointed. You had SWBF and OG Kush trying to still contest the dragon after the fight was already lost, and Hook misses.
Hook just a bit short on that. Eclipse gonna be walking away. Will get signed up though. Won't be able to use the Abyss Voyage. Eclipse does have The gray health available, flash will come through, will not be enough. Cyclone being used, shutdown heading over to the side of SWBF. The teleport was used as well by OG Kush here. The Death Charge gonna land, knockup gonna land as well. Here comes Call of the Forge God, gonna hit. Ooh, it will not hit, but a true shot will hit. And that's gonna be another kill. Oh, on the side lane, Jin and Tonic gonna go down. Huge shutdown for OG Kush here. October trying to walk away. Dredgeline will land as well. End of the play will come. However, at what cost as 3 of DZG's members go down. Baron will sure to follow as Dorado finally picking up a decisive team fight, well, quote-unquote team fight for the first time in this game, and will be rewarded by the Baron pickup as well.
Yeah, and Dorado Gaming making me eat my words right as I was talking about them being discoordinated. They pull off a really coordinated play that at the start looked like they were overcommitting, but they were able to pick off 3 members of the side of DZG one at a time, and they even shut down the Senna, who finished her finished her rapid fire cannon, adding on to that extra range. And my question is, how much can they get off of this Baron? Because they're not on soul points, so they're not threatening the soul. DZG has stacked these up, so they could give the next 2 if they really wanted to. So all that they really have the option to do is just try and stack up on these towers that are honestly going to be kind of hard to contest, or hard to siege, still with Baron against such a long-range Senna.
Oh, Kibble's gonna get cut out here potentially. That's gonna be the root coming through. Kibbles might get locked up here. Flash gonna come through, power over Ethernet, eating a lot of damage. He is not a tanky champion right now, as he only has a Divine Sunder and the Titanic Hydra. Octofu in the side lane, eating a bit of damage himself, as Fiora is a bit stronger now with that Gore Drinker and the completed Mana here, or Manamune, I'm sorry, as it is going to be Octofu, going to eat the riposte here. The Grand Challenge going to be issued, knock-up, not going to land here. Hassam might trade his life here, though. The Grand Challenge will not be enough, as it is a 1-for-1 in this top lane. Meanwhile, the mid lane being sieged up. The wave clear from Mobster Penguin is getting mitigated here by the damage from OG Kush, as he is now sitting on 2.5 items here, with that rod adding a bit more to that damage. Satch Bishop will push the wave, and it will allow them to clear it up. But like you said, the siege is becoming a bit more difficult to deal with for DZG, as we're seeing Kibbles empower the wave up in the top lane, and this tier 2 turret will likely go down for the side of Dorado here, as they're extending that gold lead now to almost 4,000, just based on that last play in Baron alone. This mid lane turret will likely go down as well. SWBF gonna be forced to arcane shift here. The pillar might be enough. Flash coming through. SWBF will be forced to run away, and this mid turret will stay alive at the cost of SWBF's flash. But taking a look again at itemization and taking a look at kind of where they're going, Victor picked up a good shutdown. He's now at 3 items. He has the Void Staff and the Shadow Flame, which to me is a little weird because you're picking up extra Magic Pen, which I guess is good into things like the Ornn, into the Tahm Kench. But to me, that seems incorrect, but I'm also not a mid lane player, so I don't know enough. But they're definitely itemizing to deal with these tanks. Black Cleaver picked up by the Wukong here to shred with that Cyclone. The Lord Dominic's Regard also picked up here by the side of Ezreal, or by the side of SWBF, so a lot of resistance shred as this Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. DZG does not want to give this up. They want to be able to take these. True Shot Barrage gonna land onto Mobster Penguin, Octofu, and Power over Ethernet. Not a lot of damage. Ooh, but that Mystic Shot, though, a lot of damage. Knockup coming through. Kibble's gonna be forced to use that knockup if he can. That is gonna be the Death Charge gonna be used here, and that is gonna be a 1-for-0 here. Fiora, though, in the meanwhile, in the top lane, all Dorado needs to do is buy some time here, as that is gonna be the knockup coming through. Dawning Shadow gonna be there as well. Rogue eating a lot of damage here, but that is gonna be the clone here. Eclipse looking to chase down. Exhaust gonna be dropped onto OG Kush. Rogue gonna go golden here, trying to buy some time here. Fiora still taking the base here. That's gonna be another kill picked up by DZG. Jin and Tonic flashing past the pillar here. That is gonna be the kill picked up. The Senna not gonna be enough here, and that is gonna be a 4-for-0. I'm sorry, 4-for-3 for the side of DZG, but at what cost? Inhibitor turret being taken down now. Inhibitor down as well. The Nexus turrets are short to follow. DZG trying to reset here. They're only gonna send Octofu back here, as Power Ethernet will try to solo this Dragon. OG has them gonna be eating a lot of damage. That is gonna be the knockup here. Riposte is available, but it does not matter. That is gonna be the kill given over to Octofu with that turret and that CC damage picked up there. But that is gonna be also the soul picked up by DZG, a massive pickup, but again, at what cost, as it is half their base taken.
That's such a bittersweet soul take for the side of DZG. They still went 3-for-4 in the fight, and then they lost half their base just to get the soul. The Hextech soul can be really nice with things like Talia, Tahm Kench, and Senna able to proc it really easily in these fights. But now you have to worry. This Fiora needs about 10 seconds and a wave in your base. And you have no chance of stopping her without TPing to... Honestly, I don't know if you can TP to a tower if she's already on it. She'll just kill it that fast with her build being heavy on hit, and AD not focusing a whole lot on survivability except for that gore drinker. And likely building into a death's dance, I believe.
That would make a lot of sense, but absolutely, I mean, this Fiora, again, built to split push. That is one of the win conditions that Dorado Gaming drafted in the draft phase, right? We talked about it. Buy enough time, disengage, give Fiora time with that base, and she will take it, and that's exactly what we saw at that Dragon fight. We saw, we did see Kibbles get cut out, but there was so much CC that just made taking that fight, or ending that fight for DZG, such a ordeal. We saw the knockups even before Kibbles died. We saw the Death Charge. We saw the Gravity Well. We saw the Cyclone. We saw the slipperiness. Oh, Hook gonna land here. Eclipse, you're gonna eat a lot of damage here. It does have the Grey Health. That is gonna be the root landing, but that is gonna be the Arcane Shift to disengage here. Chaos Storm was dropped, though, by OG Kush here. So that is one ultimate going to be expended for none for the side of Dorado Gaming. Hazam eating a lot of damage, going to be trading a lot of damage here. Grand Challenge going to be finished here. Octofu trying to disengage here. The Grand Challenge will be finished. Octofu, not long for this world, will be shut down from Hassam here on this bot side. Dorado going to be able to start sieging through this mid lane. Baron not necessarily available or not up or in use right now, so it is going to be a little bit of a slower siege here. But no one is responding. Oh, SWBF doesn't have flash available. Arcane Shift will be used there, but that is a strong or a long amount of time that's going to be bought here for the side of Hassam here in the bot lane, who's going to be able to take that tier 2 turret. That is going to be the Weaver's Wall, going to block off one exit, but DZG will not be able to do anything off of that, as the wave will just get stopped momentarily before crashing into this mid lane turret. Eclipse looking to stop Hassam here from taking. That's a lot of damage here, but it's only power or Ethernet to hold this mid lane turret, and it will likely go down. Hook will land as well. He will get CC'd. Subjugate will not come out, and that's going to be power over Ethernet taken down as well. 3v4 situation here. Hook gonna land as well again. These hooks are landing left, right, and center. Rogue gonna be coming in with that Cyclone. True Shot Barrage will hit one. Dotting Shadow will come through as well. Kibble's eating a lot of damage, but he is still a Nautilus. He is still tanky. Second inhibitor going down. Rotations coming down to this bot lane. Fiora trying to catch the wave. The rest of Dorado looking to back away. This Baron is available for them should they want to take it uncontested. However, we are seeing some resets, but that is going to be the second inhibitor taken for the side of Dorado Gaming at the cost of DZG, of two members of DZG.
Yeah, and this is really just kind of showing the power of some of the scaling on the side of Dorado Gaming. The Fiora has the Hull Breaker now, and I don't know who you can have match her, because she'll just kind of run down whoever they send. Whether it's the Orin, who has failed already to try and match, or if it's someone like the Talia to try and wave clear. And DZG's kind of clearing the vision on the bot side towards Elder, but Dorado Gaming is just claiming this entire top side around Baron, and I think they could start it now, and DZG would be none the wiser.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And what can DZG do? This and top inhibitor still going to be a bit more. Actually, it's going to be just this last wave of supers, as the next wave does not have the super buff. So that is going to be about another 45 seconds until this inhibitor spawns. However, much like I said, Baron is already available. DZG contesting still with this mid lane turret, or this mid wave of supers as they try to approach this Baron. But again, like you said, who is going to deal with this Fiora? There is no way that Orin can deal with this by himself. However, the Baron will be started. Dorado Gaming not giving DZG a chance to breathe here as DZG is trying to make their way over there. The Baron falling below 10,000 health, going down pretty quickly, but this is maybe just a bait to try to bait out the the teleport here, but that is going to be the Weaver's Wall drop. Baron will drop aggro. We'll start healing back up. Eclipse will eat a hook here. Eclipse getting CC'd, might not be able to use that gray health. Jin and Tonic going to be taken down, or going to be choked down by this Wukong here. Power over Ethernet is actually going to be able to buy enough time, and Rogue will go down here. Jin and Tonic and Mobster Penguin still alive. Flash coming through. SWF going to be flashing and arcane shifting, but it will not be enough as the shutdown coming through, but that is going to be the hook landing. Kibbles will eat CC as well and will be taken down. A quick reset will likely be needed here by the side of DZG. Teleport coming through here, though. That is going to be a 2v1 situation in this bot lane. Teleport coming through as well. Octofu trying to live will not be enough. Will not be able to recast the Call of Forge God. And it is going to be bot inhibitor going down as well. Monster Penguin has to be careful here. He could be taken down here. A lot of damage. Look at that one laser doing a third of his health here. That is going to be Fiora looking to reset here. Does have teleport available. Can just back and teleport right back into this. However, Elder Dragon coming up as well in 30 seconds. That may be the play. Teleport, actually, they're going for the end here. Teleport coming through. That's going to be a 2v1 situation. Hullbreaker will not be practiced. Victor is here. Mobster Revan forced to go golden. Eclipse here does have the Devour available. Should either. There it is. It's going to be able to block that Bridal Block, but it does not matter as the Nexus will be taken down. Dorado Gaming will take game 1 of the 3-game series.
Really back and forth game. Dorado Gaming able to take the very last couple fights, and the scaling on the side of Dorado Gaming just became so hard to deal with. This Fiora, after being bullied for so long, was able to finally get the revenge from this laning phase. And just look at this Ezreal, and Ezreal was a silent, or not necessarily silent, but it was a more quiet carry, having, I believe that's 10,000 damage over the next highest, which was his own mid laner. So,
yeah, that's actually nuts.
It was a really well played game for both teams, and DZG at the end started to kind of look like they were running out of options, and to be honest, it felt like they were running out of options. They didn't have some of the easier things to just force these fights like they had with the Kibbles on the, like Dorado Gaming had with Kibbles on this Nautilus. So I'm really interested to see the changes that DZG is going to make for game 2. And there was definitely a lot that Dorado Gaming could take note of for what could be done about this for game 2 as well, because there were definitely some mistakes that almost made this game too far gone.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Both teams definitely making, a couple of mistakes here. They might have led to each of their own downfall here. I mean, DZG had a really solid early game. I mean, all their lanes doing fairly well. Mid lane going even. Bot lane taking a couple of advantages into what could be seen as a losing matchup for Tahm Kench and Senna. Ornn did fairly well into the Fiora. It just DZG was just unable to capitalize on that lead that they built up in this early to mid game, and they just let Dorado get to their win con, which was this Fiora split push. How difficult it is to get to the backline of Dorado Gaming with this Ezreal and the Victor, along with the Nautilus and the Wukong, just buying enough time for them to continue to DPS. And we see that with the highest damage dealers being the Ezreal and the Victor in the entire game. So it's just DZG unable to reach their backline in the late game and unable to answer this split push from the Fiora. But with that all being said, we do still have 2, or at least 1, if not 2 more games, and absolutely 2 more games, as we're going to see DZG hopefully take it to a game 3, as we will be going on a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 2 of DZG versus Dorado Gaming in this week 1 of the Classic Championship Series.
I'm all the sins that you can't confess. I'm just your ghost if we're not undressed. A part of me wish that we never met, but you act like we never. Got too wasted in the bathroom of your parents' house. Then you kissed me in the backseat of a taxi ride. And we said things that were cheesy, but we meant them. There were feelings, and now you deny it. You're in love with the idea of me, but you're not in my reality. Find it hard to even picture it, 'cause my reality ain't your reality, no. I'm all the sins that you can't confess. I'm just your ghost if we're not undressed. A part of me wish that we never met, but you act like we never got too wasted.
And we are back with Game 2 of the Classic Championship Series of DZG Olympus versus Dorado Gaming Gamma. Zymphonic is having some technical difficulties that we are resolving at the moment, but we are getting right into draft with DZG Olympus taking away the Camille, Gangplank, and Graves, same as Game 1, and Dorado Gaming getting rid of the Talia as the only change, and first picking the Seraphine. Seraphine's definitely a more versatile pick, something they clearly are prioritizing a lot, and Zeri Yumi locked in for Olympus, a very high mobility, heavy damage capability in this bot lane that Olympus just looked like they were very prepared for and were kind of expecting to throw down the gauntlets per se. Tristana being hovered by Dorado Gaming, which would be a decent matchup, a champion that's able to punish the Zeri early on with her hard and quick engages. You typically don't see her duoed with Seraphine, so that leads me to believe this may be a Seraphine mid, but there's always a possibility you have a less favorable matchup just to take away that counter pick. And one thing I've seen in the past that is definitely still an option is the Zeri mid, which tends to be a full AP and allows her W to do a whole lot of damage. Nara locked in for Hazim in the top lane is a different pick than we saw him on last game. Last game we saw him on the Fiora, a champion that at the end he was able to really carry Dorado Gaming with his capability of split pushing. He was able to threaten them a lot and take a lot of the objectives, keeping up the power. And we're going to the second round of bans. Vigar's locked in for Olympus, so that's gonna get rid of my theory of towards the Zeri mid. And we have Symphonic back, so I no longer have to solo cast.
Hello. Sorry, that was a very quick turnaround here from Dorado. But yeah, taking a look at some of these picks, I'm sure you've already gone through it, but we're seeing Zeri Yumi. Ooh, I'm ecstatic. However, I don't like that DZG gave up Seraphine. I think Seraphine is literally the most busted champion on this patch and was not nerfed at all. So inadvertently buffed. So interesting that DZG gave that up for the Zeri Yumi. They must feel very comfortable in that. Zeri definitely still in a good spot. But I still think Seraphine's a bit of a better unit. However, DZG does have a good amount of disengage here to allow Zeri to kind of do the Zeri thing. However, as we're going through these bans, Wukong, Trundle being taken away by DZG Olympus, trying to get rid of that jungle pool, where Malphite and Kled getting taken away from Octofu. Malphite, definitely something. I don't think I've seen Octofu's Kled in a very long time.
Okay, the Sejuani, I was going to say, this is going to be the Sejuani or Ornn. That Trundle pick really is what makes me what made me think about that, because you don't want to be giving away those free stats.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
leaving still available though.
It is still available. The thing is, they have a Gnar already, so that makes me. I really don't think that Gnar is gonna go anywhere but the top lane.
True. Gnar wasn't banned against them either, so that's a very interesting B3 from the side of Dorado. But they're going to lock in Rel, a champion I don't think I've seen in a hot minute, and has not been touched aside from getting a Star Guardian skin. So, Star Guardian buff?
Possibly. I personally haven't seen Rel. I know a lot of people, myself included, are not a fan of where she is in the meta and just how her kit works in general. Kind of a lot of people asking for a mini rework. But Dorado Gaming seems like they're fine with it just as is. They're fine running the really aggressive lane of the Tristana, Rel, and Lilia locked in here for the jungle matchup versus the Sejuani.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting as the draft is kind of closing out here. We're seeing DZG's last pick. I'm not a huge fan of where the direction of DZG's draft is going, just simply because I feel like the Veigar and Sejuani don't really match what the Zeri wants to do into the comp of what Olympus wants to do, into what Dorado's doing, and Ornn's going to be picked up here. So, my thing is, yes, there's a lot of solid engage here, right? You have Ornn, you have Sejuani, you have the Yuumi ultimate that can be paired up even with the Sejuani. But I feel like they're very short range for the amount of CC that they're bringing in, for the amount of engage that they have. Where Dorado Gaming has enough tools to buy enough time and a very solid scaling in the form of Seraphine, the Tristana, even the Gnar, and including the Lilia. They have a lot of these re-engage tools where if DZG goes in, for lack of a better term, blows their load with Sejuani and Ornn and doesn't get anything, Dorado has a really solid amount of re-engage and has a good amount of lockdown for this area, including the Rel, including the Lilia sleep, the Seraphine ulti, a lot of good things. However, the one thing that DZG still does really well is that skirmishing. If they can get that Zeri ahead, the Zeri is incredibly slippery and can deal a lot of damage and can get onto that backline. But it's a very interesting draft, to say the least, by both teams. Definitely some picks that I don't think we were expecting to see, especially the Rel. But at least for DZG, you don't have to worry about the split push threat in the top lane. Gnar definitely can still deal fairly well with the Ornn, a lot less well than the Fiora, but is still going to be a potential split push threat should he choose to go Hullbreaker, which is probably not the best choice at the moment.
Yeah, it's not the best choice, and I am going to actually disagree with you. Olympus has the ability to play this comp in a way that is really going to make it harder for Dorado Gaming. Yes, they have a lot of the triggers and things like the Ornn ultimate, Sejuani ultimate, but I believe if Olympus changes the way they play this into a more disengage and buying space with things like the Veigar cage, or just sheer amount of CC, and the Sejuani, it's going to be really hard for Dorado Gaming to get their Gnar and their Rel in on top of this Zeri while she's just kind of free-firing onto the front line in the typical front to back. Because the thing that a lot of people have been asking for about Rel is her W, which is her primary engage, is very easily interruptible. It can't go over Veigar cage. It can't go through any kind of CC. So all you need to say is, hey, Mobster Penguin, you're holding your cage and putting it right on top of this Rel. That is your job in these fights. And then Rel can't do much. She's kind of sitting there twiddling her fingers, waiting until that cage goes down, or she just accepts the stun. So I think Olympus has the ability to play this team comp a way that is good against Dorado Gaming, but the question is, are they going to play it that way, or are they going to be trying to force these aggressive fights that are playing right into Dorado Gaming's hands?
Yeah, I mean, those are some really solid points that you bring up. I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, it is definitely maybe not as one-sided as I thought, or maybe not as bad as I thought. However, the one thing I will say is Dorado has a very unconventional but very doable Wumbo combo. If you think about it, even with the Veigar cage, I mean, Rel Flash Ultimate, or, the, whatever this, it's something Storm. I always forget what it's called, but,
No, something. Yeah,
it's like
Storm.
something Storm. But if she can get onto, the Zeri and the Veigar and lock them up, they have a really strong potential for a really crazy Wumbo with the Seraphine, with the Lilia, with the Gnar, and even the Tristana damage. They also have a really strong Siege, should they be able to pick off someone on the side of DZG, especially with this Tristana who can siege fairly well. I like the Tristana Rel into the Zeri Yuumi. I think it's a really good lockup into this early game and can really force the Zeri to play back. It takes advantage of Zeri's short range without relying on Tristana's own short range and only getting better as the game progresses with her scaling range. But I think both teams have a solid draft here. I don't think it's as one-sided as maybe not necessarily the last game, but I think there's a bit more back and forth. It's more of a skirmishing kind of on both sides, and we'll have to see how each team plays and how each team adjusts from game number 1. But with that being said, we are throwing it to a quick spectator delay, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 2 of DZG Olympus versus Dorado Gaming Gamma in week 1 of the Classic Championship Series. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of DZG Olympus versus Dorado Gaming Gamma. Dorado Gaming Gamma on the blue side this time around, and DZG on the red side. DZG had a pretty close and scrappy game number 1, and they're looking to take this to a game 3, as Dorado is looking to do their darndest to take this clean 2-0 in the first week of the Classic Championship Series. Power over Ethernet will get spotted out. We'll be forced to drop a ward here. No sweepers right now available to use from the side of Dorado Gaming, so that ward will stay, but it will not really provide much info for the side of DZG.
Yeah, and I think we have a little bug on the scoreboard because no items are appearing at all, which even if the low chance of everybody leaving would have brought there we go. I
Hey.
would have brought wards in, and I am looking over runes because looks like we're gonna have a standard 5 point. Some vision placed around, but nothing too notable. The main thing that I am seeing, Rel with the glacial augment, and would be the predator on the. I'm drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a
On
Vigar?
Vigar?
Vigar. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't
Yes.
remember his name. The little short purple guy. Predator and Vigar able to have a lot more of the roam opportunities. You do see it a lot, but it's still something noteworthy. Little bush cheese attempted on the side of Dorado Gaming. Nothing gonna come to fruition of it. And
Yeah.
one thing that you see a lot of Rels do, even though you don't see a lot of Rels, is she's gonna really want to be keeping this bush priority. And with someone like a Yumi, it's gonna be really hard for the side of DZG to contest it. Eclipse
Yeah,
able to hop off comfortably,
Ooh.
and we're into a pause.
Hey, let's go.
Looks like it's gonna be mid ping or something involving the mid lane of Dorado Gaming.
Well,
A summoner has disconnected.
yep, that is going to be a lag and a DC here, but that is a little bit unfortunate. But I do want to follow up on that point that you mentioned, Mags. I do agree, there are some benefits of having a Yumi support, despite, the champion being the scourge of the earth, because I hate Yumi. But it is still, with its benefits comes its cons, where you're right, Yumi cannot really contest a bush that the Rel can sit in. It is very difficult, as any kind of CC is going to interrupt the ability for her to, or for the Yumi to be able to latch on to the AD carry, in this case it's Zeri, and be safe. So it really allows this aggressive lane of Tristana Rel that want to spike at this level 2 and all in, the ability to do that pretty freely. So it is definitely going to be one of the potential downsides for this bot lane of DZG, is really contesting this push area and really stopping these all-ins from occurring preemptively. Taking a look at not necessarily the other matchups, but really everywhere else. I mean, a lot of the other lane matchups are very passive, especially mid. We're seeing the Seraphine, Vigar. They're just looking to farm. Vigar benefits more from it. Seraphine has some good setup with the Lilia, but the Vigar has some really good setup with the Sejuani as well. Top lane, I will expect to see the Gnar bully out this Ornn a lot more. But we'll see what happens, as we aren't unsure. We are unsure of how long this pause will go. So we will likely throw it to a small break, as it seems like these lag issues will be going on for a bit. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. And if you got some time, check out w.gg. Use that code DZGWIN. We love those ads. And we'll see you guys in a short bit. Welcome back, everybody. We are coming out of this pause now into this exciting bot lane matchup once again, as everything seems to be resolved here. And as we take a look at lane states, it does look like the bot lane of Dorado Gaming was able to pick up that level 2, but was not able to capitalize on that either. So it looks like DZG doing their best to kind of stay away, let this wave push them, and farm safely. Meanwhile, we're seeing the gank in the mid lane. Power Over Ethernet is here, going to be able to land that Arctic Charge. Cage will land as well. The Arctic, or the Permafrost will not land here, and it is going to be an ability whiff here by Seraphine. Will eat a bit of damage, but will not use those summoner spells, as she felt relatively safe in that mid lane gank.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm expecting to see in this bot lane is this Rel to sit in her demounted form a lot.
Ooh, knockup coming through. Octofu going to be doing a bit of damage, but regain coming through in this mid lane. Flash was already used into the cage, but OG Kush will likely be able to walk away. Meanwhile, Octofu taking a lot of damage. The Mega Form will run out shortly, though, and it is going to be the Burrow Proc Flash coming through. Hassam actually going to be the one who flashed away here, as the Burrow Proc did a lot of that max health damage. As you know, the Gnar gains more max health when he transforms, so it actually ended up doing more damage. Oh, another cage. Just the third cage in a row. Eaten by OG Kush as he eats a bit more damage from that Dark Matter. Rogue coming down this bot lane, maybe looking to set up a quick roam here, as we're seeing the bot lane and jungle from Dorado Gaming going to this mid lane saying, hey, we've had enough of you bullying our mid laner. It's time to bully you with double the numbers here, as it's actually going to be the bot lane returning back to bot. A Rogue, though, is here and available. Mobster Penguin does have Flash available. The bowling ball will land. Cage will land here as well. Mobster Penguin continuing to walk away. That is going to be more damage. Will not flash the W there from the Lilia. A couple more hits will be enough, but Mobster Penguin will be forced to flash, as he did not want to deal with that remaining damage. And a solid gank by both junglers to this mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane, a lot of the focus going in, and I'm assuming that's because Dorado Gaming is saying, hey, we want to shut down this Veigar before he gets too big, and DZG saying, hey, we want to get this Veigar really big. So, both having their own motives to gank mid, and this bot lane is a lot more uninteractive than I expected, but it kind of makes sense because it's kind of how the top lane was.
Oh, that is going to be the engage here coming through. Gin and Tonic will be able to get away there with the Yuumi intact here, as the flash, or I'm sorry, the exhaust was blown here by Yuumi. But that very interesting skating maneuver, I will call it, as he's able to scale the wall. But that is going to be a re-engage again here. Eclipse was interrupted there, will not be able to remount, is trying to walk away, will use the heal. That is going to be the remount now available, as he's able to walk away. But again, DZG playing fairly, I don't want to say comfortably or aggressively, but definitely just kind of feeling themselves as they're eating a lot of these engages from the side of Dorado Gaming. Meanwhile, Rogue, Octofu is going to find Rogue here, going to be able to place a ward. The bowling ball will be eaten here by Octofu. No ulti available just yet. Octofu trying to get away, though. Does have flash available, is trying to walk it out. Mobster Penguin coming here. Cage will be dropped, though, to stop the Seraphine. So will not be able to use that to disengage, but Octofu will be able to walk away, as Kibbles and SWBF are here trying to see just bot lane turret here, but will be able to get away, or walk away, I'm sorry, after crashing that wave. And DZG actually up 2 CS in this bot lane, so well done.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is,
Hex Flash again, just completely gone here.
And I feel like both sides kind of take it. Rel, you're zoning off the enemy ADC for a couple CS or a couple seconds. And she's burning Hex Flash at this point. She doesn't really care.
Oh, that's going to be a lockdown. Bowling ball will miss. Encore will land, and it will actually be first blood. OG Kush going to be able to use really everything needed. The flash was expended haphazardly here by Rogue. But again, kill is a kill, and that is going to be first blood going over to Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, and I mean, just really that could have just been a solo kill for the most part. And Rogue just helping out just a tiny bit. And that's just really Mobster Penguin overstepping his bounds. He was staying with no mana, not able to throw up the cage by himself in space. Top lane skirmishes.
Yeah, I mean, top lane skirmishes, definitely bound to happen. Octofu doing fairly well. Call the 4 Juggas here. Mega Form not available for Gnar. Flash not available either. Knockup will come. Brittle Proc will come as well. And Octofu will be able to pick up that kill with the help of Power Over Ethernet. It is going to be a 1 for 1. Ooh, that Hex Flash almost landing. Magnet Storm not available just yet, so it will not be the lockdown. Bomb will land fully almost, as Rogue maybe looking to come from behind, but Gin and Tonic will eat a lot of damage. It will be some heals required from the Yuumi here, who is also low on mana. So that sustain may not come. Summoner Spell heal, though, still available for Eclipse. Dragon will get started here potentially by the side of Dorado Gaming as well, looking to set up some vision, trying to spot out Power Over Ethernet, who is at the top side. So this Dragon will likely go over to the side of Dorado Gaming uncontested.
Yeah, and I mean, that just is why this matchup is still Rel favored. even though Yumi is targeting.
Oh, there's the Mega, the Gnar available as well. The stun will miss, though. Flash coming through Octofu, though, not enough as he will be taken down. Dragon will also be taken here for the side of Dorado Gaming. The blue buff also going to be taken away from Power over Ethernet as he's crossing over. It just will not be enough. Will be donated over to the Seraphine, so a very solid trade-off here. One thing to note, Gin and Tonic hasn't backed yet. Still up 2 CS, and actually neither bot laner is back, so I guess that's fair to say that neither bot lane is really expending their gold here, but yeah, overall, things going fairly well for Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, and the thing is that this Tristana is sitting on 3 biscuits and 3 pots, and is playing really passively compared to the health region that they're sitting on. And Gentosh is going to be allowed just to sit under tower and claim this wave. And I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the way this Tristana has been playing. You want to be able to punish it because Eclipse is not going to have the ability to just hop up, regain mana, and infinitely sustain for his ADC. And now you're just having to think. Now you have a Yumi who has a Bandoglass Mirror. Your Lilia is getting the Herald, so you have swept both early game objectives. So that is nice, but this bot lane is not going the way I would have predicted it. You have Rel roaming. Oh, and I forgot how bad that matchup for Seraphine feels, with Sejuani being immune to slows, thus making Seraphine unable to stack up her CC as long as that shield's alive.
Ooh, regain cure, Megaform not available. That's going to be the Flash. Will still get knocked up by the Call of the Forge God here. The passives will start to stack here. Permafrost not long here, and that is going to be the kill being taken here by Power over Ethernet. A solid 1-4-0 here. As like you said, the Herald was taken. Seraphine unable to really stun up the Sejuani here. But something to note, going back to your point about the Tristana playing really passively, granted, one of Tristana's weaknesses is the fact that she can't really freeze a lane. She can't really keep a lane. But what I don't like that I'm seeing is that they're constantly pushing this lane, right? They've had a couple opportunities to go in with the Hex Flash, and it's going fairly well. They need to get a situation where even if you're missing a couple of CS as Tristana, that you're letting this wave get out from under turret, because Gin and Tonic and Eclipse are happy to be under this turret. You're not going to dive them under turret, especially now at the level 6 with the final chapter and the Ultra Charge available. It's just you're never going to be able to do that, right? They're going to be able to disengage. They're going to be able to walk around, kite you around, and you're likely going to end up suffering from a 2v2 dive in the bot lane. So if you're the side of Dorado, you really need to let this wave come out. You need to find the opportunity to be able to find the all-ins, because right now, with how this wave is going, again, back towards Gin and Tonic, which, again, kind of hard when you're Tristana and your passive ends up blowing up all the minions, it becomes very difficult. Power Ethernet finding a potential fight here. Flash gonna come through. Arctic Prison gonna come through as well. The Encore gonna land into Rogue is here though as well. The bowling ball will go wide though. Power over Ethernet will get put to sleep here. The cage not available. Great flash here. Power over Ethernet predicting that W from the Lilia will get slowed here. One more auto will be enough. That is gonna be the Q, not the double though from Seraphine, so will not be able to pick up the kill. Flash for flash from jungle and mid overall is 0-for-0 for both sides.
Yeah, and Mobster Penguin not having enough mana would have been able to ult either target, and I believe would have gotten a kill. So that just kind of really feels bad. And this is gonna be a lot of plates taken, but you're splitting this amongst 4 members. This is not even gonna be worth. This is gonna be worth roughly a cannon for each person.
Yeah, ew, and Herald actually not going to be able to take it down either. Wave going dangerously low. The prelates were still there, so it will take a bit longer to take there, though. That is going to be the explosive charge going to land here. Monster Penguin needs to be careful. The re-engage will sure to follow here, as this next wave will likely not be enough. Kibble's eating a lot of damage, though. Summoner Heal will be blown to save him, along with the shield from that remount. And that turret will actually stay alive. No, it will not. The minions, undeterred, will be able to take that first turret for the side of Dorado Gaming. But, like you said, that gold split between 4 people, not necessarily being this overwhelming amount of gold to allow for potential full binds. However, Seraphine was able to pick up the Leandries with that extra gold, and will come back to lane with the first mythic of the game.
Yeah, Seraphine having the Leandries, and one thing I am sure Dorado Gaming is happy to have read in the patch notes is now you cannot have to worry about stacking up Leandries and reducing the effects. So now Lilia isn't going to have to go Everfrost. She can go the Leandries as well with her own passive. So yeah, now 2 Leandries doubling up on the burn that this Ornn and Sejuani is gonna have a really tough time surviving any sort of team fight with all that increased burn.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that is one of the best, inadvertently, the buffs for Sejuani, but hold that thought. Power of Ethernet will land the Arctic Prison. That jump will not be in time. Final chapter is there. Flash is available, just layering that CC perfectly. SWEF trying to hold on to it. Will be forced to flash. Lightning Crash coming through as well, but that is still going to be the pickup by Power over Ethernet. But here comes OG Kush. No response available as teleport not available for Monster Penguin. The Encore will go wide, though. Jin and Tonic does not have the ability to get away here, and Jin and Tonic will be taken down. Eclipse trying to get onto Power over Ethernet is not going to be able to. Octofu is here, though, to turn it around with the Call of the Forge God. Power over Ethernet will hold on to that kitty as he's trying to get away. Power over Ethernet dangerously low. Will turn around for some reason and will take damage here as Octofu is not as tanky as he wishes with that Bomby Cinder and the Merc Treads, and will not be enough to deter this fight, as it is going to be a 2-for-1 for the side of Dorado Gaming, and this Infernal Dragon will be sure to follow.
Yeah, so second dragon gonna be taken by Dorado Gaming, and that fight was looking so well, but for DZG, but there were just a few mechanical misplays that. Okay. I guess I guess the Tofu's out of mana, so you were not too concerned, but interesting play to kind of be annoying. But that was about 3 mechanical misplays that cost certain people their lives. Whether it be Yumi not switching onto the right target time, interrupted the jump.
Yeah, jump interrupted. Hasem does not have the ability to go Mega here. Will have Flash available in just a few seconds, but will hit them with the okay. And will be able to get away, but that is going to be the Primordial Burst. Will it be enough? No, Dark Matter will be dodged here. Cage will not be enough either, and that is going to be Hasem getting away without even expending the Flash. Unfortunate here for DZG.
The hot speed of Hazim sidestepping the entire basic ability rotation from Monster Penguin. And now we're losing blue buff again, and we're none the wiser up until now. So second blue buff that we didn't secure, or that we ended up giving over for the side of DZG, and we're losing control of this game whenever. I'm not sure if we are like heavy favorites in the late game. Yes, we have the Vigar, we have the Ornn, but we saw how infinite scaling and Ornn did to us last game. So we don't have the we don't know how much we can rely on it to carry us whenever we're talking about the late game, especially with it being so accelerated on the side of Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, as we transition into this mid to late game, I mean, DZG and Dorado need to kind of establish what their comps can do, right? DZG has the ability to burst down a target that is caught out, and we've seen that happen with the Glacial Prison, with the, Vagar Cage, now with the Call of the Forge God, the final chapter. Like, they have a lot of tools to CC something, and speaking of CC, Hasem trying to CC will actually get the Yumi here. It will stop the remount here. Eclipse trying to get away. Final chapter will not be enough. Hasem will take down 1. He's looking to pick his 2 as Jin and Tonic. Not as strong as he thinks. Does not have Mythic yet. Hasem going to be going into the Mini Vinar form. Is looking to land the Boomerang. Will flash away. Will not be able to get the fade away, as Hasem is going to be potentially chased down here by Power over Ethernet. Hasem looking to turn this around. That is going to be the hop coming through. Hasem trying to get that last auto. He will get it! And unfortunately, Power over Ethernet will pick up the kill, so it will not be a trade of kills there. Octofu now having to deal with 3. The Herald dropped as well. Call of the Forge God will not land. Monster Penguin here, trying to do what he can here. Gonna drop Cage to disengage, and that's gonna be a 3-man knockup. Dark Matter will not land on any of them. Dark Matter gonna land as well. Double knockup, Magnet Storm onto 2 of them, and that is gonna be a double kill picked up for the Rel. Dorado Gaming across the map, making plays happen. Herald gonna be dropped as well here. Eclipse will eat a bowling ball for his troubles here, as the Herald will crash and will guarantee the inhibitor turret here. This will likely be it. No, they're gonna go for this inhibitor, or at least try to here, as it is not going to go down. However, what they will get is this tier 2 mid lane turret as well. Shoshana has been able to continue to siege in the mid lane by their own, so that is effectively 3 turrets for none and 4 kills picked up for the side of Dorado Gaming, extending their gold lead now to 7,000 gold.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just really rough for the side of DZG.
Yeah.
And we're losing cross map. Okay. we honestly, that bot lane fight should have never happened. Yumi
Agreed.
should have never been off whenever Gnar was transforming, and now we're in an even deeper hole that DZG is gonna have to try and find a way to dig themselves out of.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, this is becoming increasingly difficult for DZG. I mean, they're not able to play their win con, right? We're seeing a 2v1 situation with this Gnar, who now has finished his Trinity Force, is going for what seems to be the Death Dance, or potentially the Serix Gauge next. And he was able to 2v1, right? He was able to find a fantastic... They took a fight, or DZG's bot lane took a fight right as the Mega Gnar was about to happen. The Mega Gnar stun was able to stop the Yumi from remounting, and it made it increasingly difficult for them to do it. And also, Gin and Tonic was fighting without a mythic item. So you're fighting a mythic item Gnar with no mythic item of your own. Yes, in theory, Zeri, kites the entirety of the Gnar, but without that mythic, it makes survivability a lot more difficult. Ooh, dive potential here. Monster Penguin does not see it coming up until now here, trying to set up the cage, trying to buy some time here. Call the Forge God will land here. The turret will take a lot of damage. The knock up will land. Magnet Storm will be there as well. Encore will be used as well. The CC chain is enormous as Monster Penguin will be taken down. Kibbles will die for the trouble though, but here comes the re-engage. DCG trying to pick up this 4v2 situation as Zeri and Eclipse, or Gin Tonic and Eclipse, were taking a bit of a delayed recall here, looking for the re-engage. Call the Forge God not available. However, the Arctic Prism is, or the Glacial Prison is. A flash going to be used by Power Everything. Re-engage coming through. A little bit of miscommunication here as Sam is hitting Mega. DZG need to wait. The laser coming through here as he's trying to pop some damage here. Octofu dangerously low. Does have teleport available, but we'll get some healing from the Yumi here. Yumi will remount onto Gin and Tonic. Tofu forced to back away here, eating a lot of damage, a lot of big ultis. That's going to be the Mega Gnar coming through. Final chapter will be there. Gin and Tonic on her own. Teleport coming through as well as Monster Penguin trying to rejoin the fight here. SWF caught between a rock and a hard place. Cage will land as well. OG Kush going to get locked down here. Primeval Burst is available, but not enough damage. That's going to be Gin and Tonic picking out SWF. Laser coming through as well. This Dragon will be stopped here. Monster Penguin looking for the re-engage. Predator going to get popped. This cage should be back up shortly. Rogue doesn't necessarily have a way of getting out here. Will actually dodge out on the cage. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble, or Sleepy Trouble Timer, whatever you want to call it, is going to land here. That's going to be 2 picked up here. 2v3 situation. Gin and Tonic still available here. Octofu coming back to full health. Gin and Tonic going to get locked down here. Yumi trying to buy enough time, but that will not be enough. Lilia will pick up the double kill. Triple kill picked up for the Lilia. Octofu the only one left. Will it be enough? No. Bowling Ball will be sidestepped here, but that is still going to be a 4-for-3 for the side of Dorado Gaming, and this Dragon will also be taken here as DZG looked like they were taking a solid re-engage in a solid fight, but were not able to make it happen, and Dorado is just flexing their wallets onto DZG.
Yeah, that fight would have worked. Kibbles?
Oh,
I don't know if you
Kibbles
want
trying
this.
to go nuts here. That's not going to work, Kibbles. Oh, that's going to be Kibbles just giving it over to DCG, I guess. Oh, bowling ball. Oh, Tofu, good sidestep. Good sidestep.
I guess they felt a little bad wanting to get to be a little closer for the quality of the stream, I guess. And now you tried everything. You threw all you had on the wall. You had TP from both your Ornn and your Vigar, and you still weren't able to come out on top. So now you're wondering, when do you draw the line, and when are you going to be able to win these fights? Do you wait until Zeri finishes Phantom Dancer, gets 2 items, or do you just try to buy it enough time or get enough gold onto her for 3 items? Because now 4 minutes and Dorado Gaming is threatening Ocean Sword. And with a 2 damage comp, you cannot be giving up that kind of regen and just hoping that the Grievous Wounds is going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, no, kudos to Dorado Gaming. They're kind of doing exactly what they need to be doing in this game, is just pretty much dictating the pace. If they're the ones forcing these engages, if they're the ones forcing these numbers advantages, they will always win, because DZG's comp is not a team fighting comp. They are a pick comp to get a numbers advantage and then go to these objectives, and DZG has done that 0 times in these skirmishes in this mid game. They have not been able to find any solid pick onto anybody from Dorado and are unable to get that numbers advantage. That's what they do. And because Dorado Gaming is dictating the pace of this game, they're able to pick up pretty much all these objectives for free, as they're already setting up for this Baron. 3 minutes on this Ocean Soul. Baron is up and available. Hassam just harassing Octofu here, who is opting to go for what seems to be the Force of Nature, which is an interesting option, which granted, it's a lot of AP damage, but into this Gnar, it's not helping him whatsoever. Opting to go for the Merc Treads to stop some of the CC, but Gnar is just going to be able to bully him. He has almost literally 0 armor, aside from 1 cloth armor. So he is just going to be eating a lot of damage. Oh, the charm going to land. Sejuani almost able to walk away with that passive, but it's going to be just a massive amount of CC here as Eclipse going to be able to, is going to be forced to dismount here as Jin and Tonic is going to be taken down. Power over Ethernet going to be taken down as well. DZG walking into a blind spot, the sleepy time, whatever you want to call it. Lulling Lullaby, that is what it's called, is going to be used here by the Lilia Eclipse not long for this roll to either Rogue just making the space kill look easy, as it is going to be going unstoppable 5-0 in 6, and this Baron is absolutely going to go into Dorado's pocket.
Yeah, Dorado Gaming just kind of running over and smashing DZG with their wallet, and they're playing it just really well. They are picking off the members that they see, and they're pushing their leads very well, denying the vision in DZG's red side jungle and punishing whenever they try to push for it.
Oh, Hasem will flash away. Oh, Octofu will miss that pillar, but the Bellowing Breath will be enough, as it is going to be a kill picked up by Octofu, despite the unfortunate events that happened on the top side of the map.
Yeah. I mean, Tofu gets the kill and says, guys, look, I got a kill, and he looks up and it's just all gravestones.
Oh,
Just
tragic.
Trying to get a little hope they can find, and it's not enough. They're down almost 11k gold because I do not want to do the mini math.
Yeah, Octofu might get caught out here as he is overextending a bit. Teleport coming through. Call the Forge God not available, so a re-engage here. That teleport may have come haphazardly. Predator is available, though, and could be used along with the combination of this movement speed. Predator is actually going to be popped here. Will not find SBWF, though, and the Dragon coming up in a minute. Waves are pushing into DZG's base. The top lane will have to be responded to sooner rather than later, as the mid lane prio is not there either. Both lanes, no prio whatsoever. That means this Dragon is almost near impossible if DZG wants it. I mean, honestly, if you're Dorado, you don't even look to fight this. You just push these turrets down, and you don't even have to do anything here. Instead, they're almost just stopping DZG from contesting these waves. But
what they could
it's
be
just
doing
like,
is they could just try to hold them here, and once the top wave gets a little closer, having their Gnar or Seraphine TP to try and siege.
I think Gnar just goes up there now. I mean, there's nothing stopping him, right? He has teleported. I mean, DZG is just waiting at this Dragon. They're honestly losing so much time and presence here. So much gold is being lost on the map. Octofu will miss the knockup, though, as Hazam has a really good hop there. Mega Gnar building up here as well. This fight is not what DZG wants. The Magnetstorm will land here, and that's going to be Octofu trying to buy as much time as possible. Mega Gnar is here and available, though. Here comes Gnar! Mega Gnar will land onto Mobster Penguin, and he will be taken down, followed by Octofu. The rest of DZG trying to do their best. Power over Ethernet, trying to disengage here. Jin and Tonic trying to cut for his life. Double kill going over to SWBF. Jin and Tonic will take that wall over the Dragon Pit, trying to disengage here, fighting for his life. Can potentially look for Kibbles here, but Kibbles will actually be able to land the stun here on the flash. The cleanse coming through. Eclipse forced to disengage here, and that's going to be an ace picked up for Dorado Gaming. This Dragon not even needed. However, they will pick it up.
That's
going to be the game, yeah. Absolutely. Gnar is just up there. Yeah.
That literally cost you the game purely because, as you were talking earlier before the fight, we didn't, on the side of DZG, we didn't look into stopping the top wave and denying the waves that were crashing. Now, gotta try and pad up some KDAs, it looks like. And game 2 gonna go over to the side of Dorado Gaming. That means the match as well, a 2-0 for the side of them to start the CCS. They played game 2 really well, held out in game 1 good as well. So now, if you're the side of Dorado Gaming, you are going to go into week 2, look at your beginning of game 1, because that was the sloppiest. It's not necessarily the best word, but that was probably the worst you played in the match. And if you decided DZG, you do have a lot you can take notes from of how you played this and how to avoid getting into a lot of the situations, because to be honest, a lot of them were avoidable.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think when you take a look at game 2 specifically, I think you're seeing the difference of a team comfortable playing their comp versus one that was not able to really get their comp going, right? I mean, Dorado is able to just skirmish, is able to really just find these fights. They were setting all their tempos, they were finding these advantages, they were taking these skirmishes early, and they were winning. They got the lead by taking early skirmishes. DZG had a couple of good ganks and a couple of good setups with Sejuani specifically. You know, we saw 2 successful ganks in the top lane. We saw a couple in the mid lane. We saw a couple of response or like reactive ganks in the bot lane as well. In terms of trying to set up a pick, but DZG never really got the ball rolling when it came to dictating the pace of the game, setting up the game to do what they wanted, which was to set up some vision, look for a pick, find the numbers advantage, and move on to the next objective. They weren't able to do that. And once Dorado got that lead, they never let go. They never really stopped accelerating the pace of that game, and they kept looking for these skirmishes. They kept looking for these fights. And I think it really looked doomed, not necessarily doomed, but really potentially unavoidable of a loss for DZG when you saw, you know, Hazam on the Gnar just being able to 2v1 Jhin and Tonic and Eclipse in the bot lane. Like, that was kind of like the turning point where you're like, oh crap, we are very behind. We can't even 2v1. So that kind of puts you in a situation where if you're DZG, you gotta have to start giving some stuff up, try to scale up, and even when they tried doing that, Dorado did not let them. So kudos to Dorado, a great start to their CCS season. DZG will take that tough loss in week 1. However, we always bounce back strong, and DZG Olympus is no exception to that. But that is going to be the end of our broadcast today. Thank you so much to everybody for stopping in. Thank you for even Dorado, Dorado Gaming, for coming in and supporting the stream and supporting their team. We'll be back tomorrow to see our DZG Elysium take on Shuriken 5 in the Aegis Guardian League, where I think DZG Elysium is looking to 5-0 these first 5 weeks if they can take down Shuriken 5. So from everybody here at DZG, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, and take care.